Hi, I'm Adam Burton, Head of Technical Services here at Westomatic. And this week's Tech Talk, we're going to be looking over the high pressure brewer system on the Sigma range. We'll be doing this to familiarise yourselves with the units, as well as talking about how to fit brewer repair or brewer service kits. This will be for any machine that's done 25,000 vens, or if something's been sat over a COVID period for a long time without being used, we recommend you do it to change all the seals and get that unit up and running as you'd like it to be. So I've removed this unit from the machine and I've taken off the side panels, removing the 4 fixing screws holding it in place. So if we take a walk around the unit, if we spin it around, first we've got our water inlet here, which is John Guest fitting, which is then straight into your inlet valve. This feeds up into the air brake tank. Now this air brake tank is fitted to the back of our brewers because any problems with low pressure water, it will feed straight from this tank rather than mains fed, so it mitigates any risk of low pressure. You have 3 probes that sit on the top. One is a common, one is a high level, and one is low level for the water. You also have a drain off on the side here for any overfill that feeds straight down to the bottom and will go through a pipe to the bottom of the machine. Then it feeds from the bottom here straight inside the machine. So if we spin this round, so when the water leaves the tank, before it gets to the flow meter, it goes through an inline filter which is situated at the bottom of the machine here. We recommend you change these along with your preventive maintenance guides every year. So following on from the filter, it comes into your volumetric counter. What this unit will do is count the water flow that is coming into the machine. If this doesn't see enough water flowing through, it'll show up error 33, which is slow flow water. From there, it then goes up to the top through a T-valve, which is then feeds to your bypass for any pressure issues, and that if that opens because of a pressure issue, that'll feed down into the bucket in the machine. Then it flows through into the pump, which will then push the water into your high pressure boiler. So from there, your water comes into your high pressure boiler, which holds 0.5 litres of water. Situated on the side of the boiler is your temperature cutout. This cutout is fitted so there's no risk of the boiler running dry. Should for any reason that be triggered, there's an orange tab that sits on the side here, and that will protrude from the side. Simply press it to push it back in to reset that. It then pushes the water from the top out using 10 bar of pressure through a valve into the top of your brewer. So situated at the top of the brewer here, we have our PCB board, which is going to switch all the components inside of the unit. These are labelled A to H from left to right. A to G is going to be red LEDs and H is a green LED. If you have a solid green light on H, that's okay, the unit's healthy. If you have, for any reason, a flashing green LED, that LED flash, or the number of flashes I should say, corresponds with the error you have. Now these errors can be found on our support page as a download, as a use for diagnostics where the error is. The first A to G LEDs that are red correspond to the component that it is opening the triac for. So next we're going to look at fitting our brewer service kit to the brewer. So to remove the brewer, we're going to undo the pipe from John Guest fitting, unscrew the brewer from the side. Brewer then click forward and lift off. Okay, so now we've got our brewer out, we're going to look at how to fit our brewer kit. So the tools we're going to use, a screwdriver and a 7mm socket. This is a 37mm brewer service kit. We also do a 44 depending on what size brewer you have. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the pot chamber here. This seal simply slides off, discard that and slide on nice and easily, he says, the new one. Set that aside, ready for later. If you look inside here for a little screw, so we're just going to remove that. So remove that, shake it out, screw, discard the filter. We're going to remove this chamber, take the pin that holds it in place, a few turns, and pull it out. So now we've removed the plunger. As you can see inside there, all the coffee grinds left. I'm just going to go and rinse this out. We're going to make sure that's clean before we fit our new one. So Blue Peter style, here's one I cleaned earlier. So we're going to take the plunger now, and the seal has a lip on the underside, so that the large side needs to face the top. If you use the rod again, just to hold it. Now on the side here, on the shaft, there's a D section, so it needs to locate inside and line up with our shaft. So if you put it in and spin it, apply a little pressure until it drops down, fits into place, and then we can remove that. Then going to take the filter. You'll have them concave, convex, so you want that facing upwards. Drop that into the top, and it'll fit in place. Then take your screw. Done. And that's that step. So next step is going to do the top filter. So unscrew our outlet here, set out of the side. The screwdriver, simply pop off this collar, sure it doesn't spring off. Set the wash to the side. You may have to apply some pressure on this here, just so you can drop it out. This bit then pops at the bottom. And we can see our build up of coffee all around the top here. So what we're going to do now is remove this screw. Now we're going to take this rinser and tap and give it a good clean before we start again. So now we're giving it a good clean. If you drop this off and fit our new one. I'm going to take the filter, that again, the concave facing upwards. Again, just pinch it tight, don't over tighten it. I'm going to drop the seal off the side, making sure we clean inside here as well. Now that's off and clean, we'll just discard that and fit the new one. That's done, ready to replace inside your brewer. Okay, so now to replace this, turn the brewer on the side, push it the hole, pushing down here against this part here. Can be a bit fiddly, but if you wiggle it around, will come down. So we take our washer, put that on. Now you'll have two ridges here, a lower and a higher setting. We recommend you use the lower setting. It can be adjusted for the height of the plunger, but we recommend as a standard generally the lower setting. Click that on. Then you're going to take your water outlet and screw that back on, hand tight onto the top of the unit. So now we're going to remove the piston rod to change the seal there. So underneath here you have a nut fitted here, which we're going to use the 7mm socket for, and two screws that are situated underneath there. We're going to remove them. So now we've done that, let's put our screws to one side and remove the piston rod. It can be a bit fiddly, so I'm taking some long loose pliers and we're going to slide that up and out the top. So remove that, put the spring to one side. So we're then going to flip this round and we need to remove this cap here. Okay, so I'm going to take a screwdriver, just pop that off, and if we look inside here you can see where the seal is. So again, screwdriver and just hook it out, remove it, discard that, taking our new seal, and then refitting our cap. This can be a bit of a fiddly job, but luckily we only have to do it every 25,000 vens. So we're going to push that in. I'm going to take our screws. So take our piston rod, push it back through. Now you're going to want the flat side facing us. Take the spring and fit the spring into place, lining that up. The D shape at the bottom and slide it into place. And we're going to get the nut we had earlier. And then we're going to take our chamber, fit that back on. Just going to take some brewer lubricant here, a little shake, and we're going to spray this along the piston rod we've just taken out. Just a little squirt, and that will make sure that's well lubricated and help the life of your brewer. So now we've had a good overview look at the high pressure brewer system. We've also seen the service kit. The parts you've taken off, we can just discard. Now realise this looks a bit fiddly, and it is, but you've only got to do it every 25,000 vens, and it really will improve the quality of your drinks, as well as the life expectancy of your brewer, so we highly recommend it. As always, if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out for us. I've been Adam Worton Show. You've been wonderful. Thanks.